Hello, everyone. I'm Indra Bartona, and welcome to my show. If you haven't joined me before, I talk about topics related to how to stay on path to a positive vibe lifestyle, interview guests, and host guided meditations. Today, we are talking about living a positive life with Cori Arnold, who works in the finance industry and now shares with others how to master your mind and money. Before we get started, please remember to subscribe to my channel. And if you found this show interesting or helpful, please like and comment, as I love to read your comments. So let's get started. Hello, Cori, and welcome to the Positivity Vibe Tribe.
Hey Indra, how are you doing?
I'm truly blessed. And hey, it is so wonderful to have you on the YouTube show. I know you've been so generous with your time in visiting our Twitter spaces and having wonderful interviews there. But this is just a whole nother treat. So thank you so much for being on the YouTube platform.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It's great to be here.
I am truly excited about leaping in and sharing with everybody so much about you and your journey. Uh, for people that don't really know a lot about your Twitter accounts and what you do, can you share about your focus on social media?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I share on social media about my experience with money. So 10 years ago, I was in a very bad place with money. I was in $260,000 of debt, 140,000 of which was student loans, 22,000 was credit cards. I had a mess and I had no idea what I was doing with money. I was trapped by my own beliefs. It took a lot of work to get out of that and to start believing that I could actually do something, accomplish something with my money. And 10 years later, I'm in a much better position, but it took so much work. And my real passion is really to help people and to show them that there is hope. It doesn't matter how big the hole you've made for yourself. It doesn't matter where you are. I just want to provide that hope to people and show them that it really is possible to turn around your life and your money, especially your money. But it's funny when we talk about money, it's really a life, it's a life change. It's not just money.
Absolutely, yes. I think this is really powerful that you are able to help so many people. Certainly, your content and your tweets in the Twitterverse are very practical, I have to say. I really love them, and I should probably spend more time over there on your tweets than I do. A little bit distraction in movie development these days, but they really do add so much value, and I find that they add a lot of value to me. And what I really love about your style of sharing on social media, whether it be on the Twitterverse or whether it's also on your YouTube shows, you have wonderful YouTube shows and content. Everybody, I will have all of Cori's links to all of her social media below this interview, so I'll remind you again at the end. But certainly, you really have a very personal and authentic, real style. And you know what I really love? I'm trying to think of I watched a couple of your videos. There's one where, you just don't make it sound pretty in any kind of or fluffiness. You're just giving it to us. Like, you're just being real. Like, basically, guys, if you want to change your life and if you want to, make pathways that are positive and take some actions, then watch Cori's videos on YouTube, because it's really very specific on what we need to be doing and what we should be doing. And I don't know anybody that couldn't benefit from watching your videos and your content in general, even in the Twitterverse.
Thank you.
So given that you are on social media and around, what is your main social media platform that you're mainly on?
Yeah, so Twitter is my main social media. I started the account about 15 years ago, and I've had a lot of luck and fortune with that account. I think I'm up to around 46,000 followers, so it's grown really fast. There are a lot of people who struggle with money, so I think the niche is appropriate. That's probably helped me. But Twitter is such a great platform. I never, before this, I had actually never been on the platform. I had heard things, but it's such a great way to reach people that you've never met before. And you're one example, Indra. You know, our relationship started on Twitter, and it's great. I have relationships like this where I've met quite a few people just from Twitter. So that's my number one platform.
I love it. So, Cori, tell us about when you really decided to choose a positive lifestyle for yourself, and was there a defining moment that changed everything for you?
Yeah, so the funny thing is, this has nothing to do with money, the story, but there was a weekend where I decided to change my life. I have had migraines since my early 20s, so since college. I dealt with them. I kind of ignored them, to be honest, for through my 20s. And then into my 30s, early 30s, I decided to go to the doctor. He put me on some medication, and that helped a little bit. But then about 4 years ago, they were kind of getting to the point where they were again kind of taking over my life. They would last 3 days. It was just, it wasn't fun. So my family, they decided we were going to take this long weekend. So my brother, sister, their families, my parents, we were going to take a long weekend, stay in this cabin and go whitewater rafting, which sounded like a lot. That sounded like a great time for me.
Yes.
I wake up that morning and I have a headache or a migraine that Friday morning. So we drive there anyway. And then I'm thinking it's going to be gone Saturday morning. No, I wake up with it it's still there. So I didn't really participate in most of the activities that weekend. And then Sunday, by the time we left, I was really hurting. Like it just progressively got worse this weekend. So after that weekend, I mean, I was so angry and so fed up with these stupid migraines. I mean, they were literally taking over my life. They took that whole weekend away from me, you know, bonding with my family, but I didn't really see that often. So that weekend, I decided I was going to change things. And it really started with my diet. I started exercising more regularly. I got off the medication. I just really changed a lot of habits that I hadn't previously changed. And it's funny that you know that has nothing to do with positivity really, but it was an intentional change to really change something in my life and to take control of the stupid you know head
Wow.
that made my life miserable sometimes. So through that journey, actually, I read a ton of books, a lot of research on diets, exercise, and then it's funny how those books took my research journey and I started learning more about the mind and our beliefs. And from that, it spawned this whole positivity lifestyle. So my habits are so different than prior to that experience. So it's funny that it has nothing to do with money. You know, it was really my health, to be honest. And it's funny how
Yeah.
your health I mean, it's my whole life. So now I just have a much different outlook on life. I don't take any medication these days. My habits are just very different. So that was the weekend that really changed everything. I kind of had to have that horrible
Yeah.
moment and get really mad about it and, you know, really decide to change.
Wow. Well, I mean, the thing is that is positivity. I mean, you did choose a
Yeah.
more positive life by taking care of yourself, you know, by nurturing yourself, by deciding that, you know, your health is important. And then everything else sort of stems from there, right? You know, from us. Like if we take care of ourselves, then everything else is just going to come together, right?
Mhm,
And
very true.
you know, like all of our passions, all of our goals are supported. So, although that was a difficult journey, it was really life changing for you.
Completely. Yes.
Wow. Cori, how do you help people to improve their life with what you share on social media?
Yeah, what I hope to help people with, it's really hard to know if you're getting results. I do get some great feedback from people, so I'm really thankful for those DMs who, you know, tell me that I am helping them. I really want people to know that they have hope. I want them to know how powerful our minds are. I was trapped in my beliefs for so long, and it's so easy to do. You know, we're conditioned with beliefs through our experiences with life, through people who raised us, and it's
Hmm.
so easy to get bogged down by those beliefs and not really see an exit or a way to change. We see our circumstances as they are today, and sometimes it is hard. Sometimes you feel stuck and you don't know how to escape your current circumstances. So that's my mission. I want to show people that, they can take control of their lives. Of course, we don't control everything in our lives. There's so much that we don't control, but at the same time, there's so much that we actually do control. And that's really the message, to give people that hope that they can own their life, they can own their circumstances. Where they are today is not where they're going to be tomorrow necessarily. It's all about their choices, how intentional they are. And a lot of that it's life, but a lot of it does have to do with their money. As they improve their self, their habits, it's funny how your money just starts to improve as well. So that's my hope that's the hope, to really give them hope and let them see that there are other ways. There is hope, or a light at the end of the tunnel.
And what I love about what you do on social media, and I really see how it can help a lot of people, is that for so many of us, we are holding ourselves back. And a lot of the time it starts on the health front, and it's almost as if we don't feel that we deserve to have a healthy life, to have all these wonderful things in it. And I'm not talking we don't have to have a Ferrari, but just to have a reliable car that goes from A to B. That is a luxury in itself. Do I have a reliable car? Instead of, do I have to take the bus or the train, or it's unreliable, it's constantly, do I have a comfortable, nice home for myself? Do I have the surroundings that are nurturing for me, that I choose? So some of these really basics, and it makes me think of Maslow's hierarchy, right? And it stems from us. So that's what I really like about a lot of things that you really share, is that they're very practical, they're very on point and achievable. I wouldn't feel overwhelmed, and I don't think I even did the very first time I went to your Twitter page and I looked at it. And, I just thought, wow, this is very real. This is doable. And wow, I need to start thinking about some of the things I'm doing as well.
That's perfect.
Right?
That's great. Yeah, that's the influence I really want to have. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you're certainly achieving it, and I'm sure a lot more other people who are going to watch this interview are going to flock over there and check out the content if they haven't already, because I'm sure a lot of the Positivity Vibe Tribe community will be checking this out, and then hopefully lots of new people will see this video and be curious about your content and that you share on the Twitterverse, and of course your YouTube channel. So what are some of the tools that people can use to help them on their path to living a more positive life? Cori?
Yeah, so these are tools. First of all, they're free, so that's exciting. And they're tools that anyone can do. They are tools that I really just recently started, but I'll go into 3 of them. So the first one's gratitude. I started practicing gratitude probably 3 years ago. And again, it's free. It's something that takes minutes a day. What I do, and everyone probably practices a little differently, but each morning when I sit down to work, I literally just write out 3 to 5 things that happened the day before or even that morning that made me happy, that I'm thankful for. And it can be the smallest thing. Indra, you were saying, you might not have the prettiest house. I don't have the prettiest house. I know that. But I'm okay with that. I have a roof over my head. I can sleep well at night. It's really like recognizing the smallest things in your life. We have, I think 50 to 100,000 thoughts per day. And if you can just take a few of those thoughts and replace them with thoughts of gratitude and thankfulness, it's a practice that really starts, it spreads and expands throughout your day. So it's one thing, you might think you're only spending 30 seconds a minute on it, which is true, but then some of those thoughts kind of stick in your mind, so you can have them throughout the day. You might think of other things you're thankful for throughout the day. So gratitude is a great tool. I highly recommend it to anyone. The second one is meditation. I used to think, I don't have time to meditate. I don't have a brain that actually I can clear the thoughts out of it. Like, there were so many excuses I had to not meditate. And I ended up trying it a couple years ago, and then just about a year ago, I started practicing it more regularly. Meditation, it's not really about clearing the thoughts out of your mind so much, and that was kind of my mistaken thought. What it is really understanding the awareness that we have over our thoughts. So the example that I heard in one of my first meditations was, think of your mind as the sky and your thoughts as the clouds. You don't have to engage with those thoughts. You don't have to engage with the clouds. You can let them pass by, and then, if it's an important thought, then go ahead and engage with it. But meditation, it's given me that awareness that I can step back. I don't have to get emotional about my thoughts. I can if I want to, but I now have that that strength, I guess is the right word, strength to be more calm with my emotions. I don't have to stress out. I used to be a person that would just stress out with, I would get overwhelmed very easily. And today I can take a step back and say, hey, it's not life or death. Just have fun with whatever you're doing. So meditation has given me a great awareness, a great calmness. And then the third one is affirmations. And again, affirmations are all about replacing some of your negative thoughts. So I mentioned we have about 50 to 100,000 thoughts per day. The vast majority of those thoughts that we have every day are repetitive. So they're thoughts that you literally have day in and day out. And the vast majority of those thoughts are negative. And these are all research that I've read in the past. But if we can just take a few thoughts, so if we have a few phrases that we say every day, and again, it takes 5 minutes. If you want to make it 10 minutes, you can do it twice a day. But it's really taking those negative thoughts and replacing those with things that you really want in your head. You can have more general affirmations like I am strong, or you can have specific affirmations on goals that you want. But again, it's that intentionality with your thoughts. You're putting positive, meaningful thoughts in your head that most likely are hopefully pushing out some of the negativity in your head. So those are the three tools that I use. And again, they're free. None of them take very long. It's more about that intentionality, with your time.
I love that. And as you said, so again, you've made it very approachable for all of us, and for anybody that doesn't really think about, why do I have to do this, or why should I even meditate? And I know there's so many different types of meditations. We just had an entire space the other day, and look, there was at least a dozen types of meditations that everybody was talking about. But I think it doesn't matter what it is. For some people, walking around their garden for 20 minutes is a meditation, because they're just looking at everything and they're not even. So I totally agree, because I do that too, and I love that. To take a break, take a cup of tea or coffee down to my garden and just roam around. And it's really just giving ourselves that little holiday, that little vacation away from all the busyness, of our minds. And I'm just blown away at how right. Yeah, we all do. I don't know anybody that doesn't need a little holiday away from that. So thank you for sharing 3 valuable tools. And I really love the affirmation piece as well, because I feel like affirmations are like a little mini brainwashing session for myself.
True. Very true.
Right. And particularly when, you're feeling like your energy drops a little bit, and that affects our productivity. And we always want to be our best self, right? So if you want a quick fix, I find that your idea about affirmations and your suggestion about that, incorporating that as a tool, is just wonderful. So love that so much. So Cori, I'd like to ask you, this is one of my favorite questions I like to ask guests. It's basically about, if you had a piece of advice for your younger self, what would it be?
Yes, that is a great question. There are a lot of things I probably would change, but I don't really like to live with regret. So I don't necessarily regret any of this. But the one thing I would change, I wish in my 20s, I wish I had been more open-minded. I wish I hadn't taken my beliefs as truth. There are so many, and I did reference this earlier, but there are so many beliefs that we get trapped into. And the problem is we don't even know we're trapped. We don't know we're stuck. For example, some of the things, and this goes back to money, some of the things I used to believe just seem so like silly or dumb to me today.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I used to think, yeah, people with more stuff, they're more important, or, buying stuff makes me happy, or,
Mhm.
people with more money are cooler. It's just, there's so many dumb things that I used to believe, and I was trapped by that. And I also used to think, hey, my income is going to keep rising. I'm going to keep getting promoted. So why worry about these expenses? I thought that for way
Mm.
too long. And those beliefs just held me back. They held me back from taking real action against my expenses. Um, so if I were to tell my younger self, and hopefully if any of you are in your 20s, um, don't get trapped by your beliefs. It's so easy because to me, I thought those were facts. In my head, they were facts, and I was not going to listen to anyone. I was so stubborn. So try not to be stubborn. It's not really a good thing for your life to be stubborn. Try to be open-minded, see other people's perspectives. I wish I would have learned that a lot sooner. I think I would have not been in the financial mess that I found myself in.
Wow, I think that was a really valuable share. There's probably a few of us that were very strong-willed in our 20s. Oh no. And yes, we wish that somebody would have said to us, just go with the flow a little bit more, which is all well and good now.
Yeah,
But yes,
agreed.
the easier that we can not be so stubborn. And I think it's even valuable what you shared for even just in the now, for us in this moment, to remember that just life is such a gift, and we can just treasure each moment and just let go of things and release things that don't serve us well, that
Mhm.
possibly they could hold us back or make us unhappy. I think it's a really powerful thing that you've shared, even for now.
Mhm. Thanks.
Well, if anybody wants to get a hold of you, I think the best two places are the Twitterverse
Mhm.
and also on YouTube. So everybody, I will have all of Cori's communication links below here, below this video, and you guys will be able to reach out and connect with Cori if you're not already connected with Cori, and all of the good things that she shares to help so many people along their path. Cori, it's really such a pleasure to be connected with you. You are an inspiration to me as well, as I know so many other people, and I really appreciate your friendship.
Yeah, thank you, Indra. It's great. Yeah, thank you. You inspire me as well, so it's a mutual thing.
Oh, wonderful. Well, thank you again for your wonderful time and all your share here. And I'm just going to send you and everybody else who's watching this show love, light, and blessings.